I'm using artificial intelligence to create recipes for my cake business. That's right. I don't have to have a degree from culinary school or in food science to create perfectly delicious cake recipes for my business. And I'm going to show you how right now. I'm not the biggest fan of baking, and I know a lot of you aren't either. Trying to find the right recipe and spending a lot of time and money testing them only to be disappointed makes it even more unappealing. But when running a cake business, you kind of don't have a choice. So when I started dabbling into AI, my first thoughts were, how can I use this to help me in my cake business? And the easy go-to for me, of course, was pricing. How can I use AI to price out my cake? I dabbled in it a little bit and then ended up landing on recipe creation because in order to price out a cake, you need a recipe. And I didn't want to waste my time pricing out a recipe that I surely was not going to be using in my business. So I used artificial intelligence to create one for me. Here's what I did. I signed into ChatGPT and asked it to create a vanilla cake recipe. And within seconds, I had a vanilla cake recipe with step-by-step instructions and a few tips to help me along the way. Y'all, I was so excited. But as I analyzed the recipe, I noticed that it looked pretty bland. And while yes, it would definitely yield a vanilla cake recipe, it just wasn't what I was looking for. See, I learned early on that you have to talk nicely to ChatGPT to really get some substance out of it. If you give it a basic prompt, it will give you a basic answer. Still probably better than what I would have mustered up for myself, but I could do Russian roulette with any recipe on the internet if I just wanted something basic. No shade. No, I wanted something specific and unique. So I got specific and unique in what I was asking for. Instead of asking for a vanilla cake recipe, I asked for a vanilla cake recipe that's moist with a tight crumb. Instead of asking for a vanilla cake recipe, I asked for a vanilla cake recipe that would yield enough for 3 6-inch cake pans. Instead of asking for a vanilla cake recipe, I asked for a vanilla cake recipe that is great for stacking. You see what I'm getting at here? I have specifically curated my recipes to fit my needs for what I believe to be the perfect vanilla cake. And ChatGPT came through. But more than having endless recipes at my fingertips, I love the fact that I can use it as my own personal baking mentor. I didn't only ask ChatGPT to give me specific recipes, but I also asked it questions to understand the why behind how the recipes work and what made different variations work better than others. I was able to learn why my recipes work and understand how I can switch and adjust ingredients to yield better results. If something goes wrong or it doesn't look right, I have instant access to learn why it happened and immediately know how to resolve it. Listen, I'm a baking genius at this point. With all good things, there's usually a caveat, so let's address the elephant in the room. Is having a superpowered genius computer system generate your cake recipes for your business considered cheating or stealing? How does plagiarism and claiming a recipe as your own play into this? Here's my thoughts. There's nothing new under the sun, especially when it comes to baking. There's only so many variations of flour, sugar, butter, and eggs you can come up with when making a cake, as it's the base for literally every cake recipe there ever was, even ones that are gluten-free, egg-free, dairy-free, all of that good stuff. So some recipes may cross over or be eerily similar to another. However, I think with the power of AI, it opens the door for more creativity when creating recipes. Users will only be limited to what their mind can fathom. And I think we may see a surge of very innovative recipes and techniques as bakers learn how to partner with AI. And with that, I believe there is room to claim a recipe as your own. The way you curate a recipe through providing specific details to the AI will create a unique recipe that was only generated through the creativity of your mind putting the pieces together. Whether or not there'll be a requirement to inform that the recipe was generated with the help of AI is still a conversation to be had. So let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are on being able to use AI to create recipes for your cake business. I also want to encourage you to still analyze and test out the recipes provided by AI, as there's always a chance for errors. I also say this to encourage the integrity behind how we as bakers operate and to not mislead anyone by putting out false recipes. And if you made it this far, I have a few treats for you. The first is ChatGPT is the most known AI out there, but I would like to introduce to you Bard, Google's AI. It puts out great recipes as well and goes a step further in the info that it provides than ChatGPT does, in my opinion. There are also many other various AIs that are coming out on a daily basis, so keep your eyes and ears out for those as well. Secondly, if you would like to see the recipes that I curated using the help of AI, you can find them in the description below or at thestationbakery.com. AI is moving rapidly and people are getting more and more creative each day with using it. If you're interested in learning more on how to use AI to create recipes that are perfect for your cake business, including a prompt template to start your journey, check out my blog post linked in the description below or at thestationbakery.com. Although not my favorite, I have found myself enjoying baking my recipes more and more thanks to the power of AI, and I hope you will too. Until next time, guys, peace.